Hi, it's Al from Golden, and welcome to episode 4 of our exciting Daf Yomi series. Okay, we're now at a critical juncture because up until now we've been focusing a lot on getting the overview, how many prakim the Masechta, how they're laid out, how many Mishnayos in the first parak, how they're laid out through the first parak, which is great because we're mapping out and getting our mind to hold the information. But now we've got to start picking up the information from each daf, material. So what should be our first step? So I believe the first step we should take is making a siman for each daf and committing that to memory. A siman, again, is a title. It's a label for each daf, and that's how we're going to access the material that's on the daf through the siman. It's going to be the way we're going to organize it in our mind's eye. And memorizing simanim is qualitatively different than memorizing or remembering anything else. Because often when we learn things well, what we're doing is we're trying to pick up the material and hold it in our head. But when you commit simanim to memory, you're actually creating the structure, the filing system to hold all the knowledge that you want to learn. So that's why many people, when they learn a lot, it still feels like it's just somewhere in their head. They're amassing a lot of material, but it's not in an organized, distinct place in the mind's eye that you can actually go directly to and pull it out. So the first thing we want to do is get simanim down, and then we're going to start putting information or more information up on the simanim, connecting it to the simanim. So not to worry. I want to get right into it, but I want to give you 4 rules that I want to suggest to you in terms of making simanim. The first is keep them simple. The goal of a siman is not to attach everything from the daf into that picture of that siman so that when you say the siman, everything, boom, just kind of pops out at you. That's not the goal. The goal is just to have a label. And even though there'll be material from the daf that's not associated directly to that siman right now, you will see that over time you will start to associate the material to the siman. So we want to keep it simple, very simple, because we're going to add up a lot of simanim. Number 2, write it down. I mean, even if you think, wow, this is great, I remember my simanim. Well, 2 things. One is you might forget, so you have written down on paper. But writing things down on paper actually reinforces your memory. When you see the next, the 12 simanim for the first parak on one piece of paper, it's actually going to help your mind's eye have a more distinct clarity of the simanim. So write it down. Number 3, there's no such thing as the right, best, correct siman. I mean, whatever works for you, that's what you should do. So whatever works for you, do. Don't get caught up with, he did it this way or I did it this way. Whatever works for you, that's good. I am going to say, though, that for initially, we're going to get into simanim shortly, I'm going to suggest that you do the simanim that I'm doing here on the video, at least right now, because I'm going to test you and coach you along, and if you use the simanim that I'm using, then you'll be able to answer the questions quickly and promptly and sharply, and we'll be talking the same language. So at least for now, as you're getting into it, stick along with the simanim I'm using, because I want to be able to coach you. I'm not just going to share simanim, I'm actually going to be coaching you along as we go through the Masechta, Emirat Hashem. And the 4th rule is review the day siman until you know like the ABCs. I mean, the time is, once you got a siman, review it. Don't think, many people think, I made a great, funny, great siman that I remember for today, what it stands for, or I did yesterday, I remember that. You got to review it well now, because you want to keep adding up simanim and making it very easy to review your simanim. So over time, you want to be able to review, in 2 months' time, all of Maseches Brachas in minutes in terms of the simanim. There's no reason why you should be able to go through your 60 simanim in a minute or 2 or 3, and that way you'll be able to do a quick, brief chazorah of the Masechta. So you want to be able to review now like the ABCs so you can keep adding material but not adding work. We'll talk more about that in another video. Okay, so let's get to today's simanim, and here we go.